in each of your clubs, it's interesting that when we came in, we mentioned the culture and the way we do things here, right? That's how we define culture, right? That's the way we do things here. And it's different than the way somebody else does it somewhere else, right? Each of your clubs probably has a little bit different culture, and that's determined by the leaders of the club, right? The directors of the club, the people that organize the programs at each club, right? Their main job is to decide what that culture is, and then you guys are defending that culture, right? So, we're not going to decide what your culture is, but you have to be intentional in creating it, right? It's intentional that those, banners are up on the wall and the trophies are in the window, right? So you can be in here every day looking, saying, I want to get one of those, right? So it's an intentional act. Everything you do is intentional, right? And if you don't make an intentional effort, you're going to get the default culture, which is win at all costs, and then, we'll see what happens from there, right? So let's talk a little bit about creating that culture and some of the people that are involved in creating that culture. We said that the leaders of the organization, right, their main goal, their really only goal, is to create the kind of culture that they want in their club, right? They do a lot of stuff. They schedule and they hire and they fire and they make sure that there are officials and uniforms and all that stuff. They do a lot of things, but their goal is creating a good culture, right? And then you guys as coaches, we call you double goal coaches. Now, each of you got a book when you came in, right? And if you look at the front of the book, we're going to look at it a couple of times today, right? The title is The Power of Double Goal Coaching, okay? And hopefully we get the idea across that a double goal coach has how many goals in mind, logically, right? Yeah, 2, right? A double goal coach has got 2 goals in mind. And that first goal is trying to win, okay? Just like Herm said, right? You play to win the game. But the second goal, and probably the more important goal, is what you learn while you're doing that. Life lessons and how you learn to conduct yourselves outside of sports, right? So that double goal coach model is really, really important. You're trying to get kids to, prepare to win and compete, but you want to teach some life lessons along the way and get better athletes and better people out of the deal. But this relationship of the 2 highlighted areas is really, really important, and they have to work together, right? Whatever adults are in their life outside of sports, right, we call them second goal parents, right? People who are supporting you in the life lessons that you're trying to teach through sports, okay? So a second goal parent is one that focuses on just that second goal of teaching life lessons, and they leave the winning part of it up to you guys, right? You guys are preparing kids to compete in sport, skills, strategies, who's playing time, what positions. That's your decision. Parents shouldn't worry so much about that. They should worry about the life lessons that they're teaching their kid along the way, and we'll show you how that breaks down, okay? Then hopefully we get kids that are triple impact competitors. They can impact the sport in one of 3 different ways. They either work really hard to make themselves better, they play in a way that makes their teammates better, right? Brings the best out in their teammates, and then they represent your program, right? And they just make the sport better, the game that they're playing in better, right? So that's a triple impact competitor. And if we do all those things, we're going to get better athletes and better people at the end of the day, okay? So this double goal coach thing, we're going to spend some time on that, because that's kind of like in your pamphlet, you'll have as a resource that's ongoing the Junior Laker pamphlet. That's the Junior Laker way of coaching. We want to try to get double goal coaches.